Hi guys, welcome to our new video. It's been about 2 months since we set up our Worm Farm 360 and it's literally overflowing. So I'll show you what it looks like. These aren't worms. We added some bedding on the top and then we're gonna let it sit for a couple of weeks so that the worms can go through, do their thing and eat whatever is left over. I can dig around a bit and just show you how good this looks. It's literally just all black soil. We fed the worms on the side, so that's where they are right now. We're not going to disturb them. So yeah, we're ready for the second bin, and it's really easy. It just stacks on top. So we're going to set it up and then show you what it looks like. This is the second tray. It has holes in it. What we've decided to do though is we're gonna do red wigglers, and in this bin currently we started off with European nightcrawlers. We want to test the difference between how quick they eat the food, because naturally European nightcrawlers live a little bit deeper under the soil, whereas red wigglers actually burrow like horizontally. European nightcrawlers go down. So red wigglers burrow horizontally and they just eat the food a lot more quicker. The first time around, we got our worms from Uncle Jim's. This time we decided to go local. So we actually found a lady pretty close to where we live. We drove out, she showed us the worms and we actually helped her harvest it. It was really cool. So these are our worms. Because we're using two different worms in the system this time, we don't want to integrate them because we've heard that red wigglers will just take over. They're a lot smaller and they also reproduce a lot quicker, and they're a little bit more hardy than European nightcrawlers. They thrive at a larger range of temperatures. So for now, we're just going to keep them separate. So normally when you start the second tray, you want your worms to migrate up through the holes in the tray. But because we want to keep them separate, we're just going to put one layer of newspaper. And so when you buy the Worm Farm 360, they send you the whole kit. So what we still have left over is the coconut coir and some grit for the bedding. We got a bunch of shredded newspaper. The first time around, we've used all of that as bedding. So what we're going to use now is actually just stuff we have from like shipping material, but it's really dry and we want to moisten it a bit. So we're just going to add that to a bowl of water. Okay, so that's pretty wet. So I'm going to stack the tray first before we start setting it up. And there's nothing to do. That the second tray really just rests on whatever you've accumulated in the first one. So that's why you we've had this for 2 months. So that's why you want to let it sit and fill it up properly so that you don't waste any space. So we're going to add the coconut coir. So we're going to just make a thin layer, spread it out. And then on top of that, we're going to do the bedding. So when you set up a new bin, you really don't have to add anything apart from the bedding, like any food and stuff like that, because you want the worms to acclimatize to their new environment. And that's why today, setting up the new bin, we're only going to add the bedding. When you order worms, they always come in some like bedding, so you can add that to this as well. because we harvested our own worms today, we actually have them in some of their own castings. So we're just gonna leave that as it is. We have the grit here from the first time around, and this just helps to aerate the bin. So we're not gonna add too much right now. We don't wanna bother the worms. And now we're ready to add our new batch. We didn't get a lot. This is about 400 worms, and they've all burrowed down to the bottom. So they're really, really much darker than the European nightcrawlers we had the first time around. And there you can see they're all bunched together. So we're going to put the lid back on and give them some darkness and let them do their thing. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in a couple weeks' time.